Question. You know, one of the inequities that we see from the plaintiff side in the different on the different dockets are the difference between the preference dockets and the in extremis dockets and the FIFO dockets, where you have, you know, just as meritorious cases, but the people might have died before they became a preference or qualified under the statute, and so their cases don't come up in many jurisdictions for 3, 4, 5 years, and those people are very needy of compensation, and I was wondering if you guys could speak about that and how you deal with a backlog.
In Pennsylvania, we don't have one. Literally, I mean, your case will come to trial in 18 months to 2 years. And as far as preferences are concerned, I let the lawyers pick their groups, and I just line them up on the particular months, but I get a lot of requests. So-and-so just died, so can we pull his case out? We got somebody else that's dying, and we'll put it in. And I always say yes. There's not a backlog, I guess, because fear is a great motivator, and I've always been extremely motivated because I'm scared to death of a backlog. It not only doesn't do justice to the plaintiffs, it doesn't do justice to the defendants. The companies start getting bogged down in litigating 700 to 800 cases, which I had in the beginning. You're going to have bankruptcies, and the last thing you want is to lose a company. It's bad for the company, and the plaintiff doesn't get any money, so everybody loses.
I think that you're fortunate, but there are other jurisdictions that don't have the resources,
True.
the judicial resources, to be able to deal with the backlog. And I think that Your Honor, you were mentioning that you have a bit of a backlog on your docket.
If you define a backlog the way I would, which is that you're falling behind, you don't settle as many cases in a year as you take in, that's true.
Right.
We have probably not done a good enough job housekeeping in our jurisdiction, at least our county, because we have cases that go to trial date, they go off the civil active list, and we don't routinely clean house to get them dismissed if there's no more defendants that are being added. So that's a shorthand way of saying I'm not positive how many I have in the basement that aren't on the trial list. On the trial list, we know what we have. We know the rate at which we're falling behind. And the lawyers who practice in front of me know that the short-term solution, the solution en vogue, is the consolidation motion, in which we attempt to balance the difficult issues of similar trade, similar disease, similar claims, same plaintiff's firm against the need of the defendants to try and extricate themselves one from the other. And we're working through that right now. That's a step in the direction, but I don't think you can try your way out of a backlog. I don't think I could shut down every division and make everybody try an asbestos case in 6 days. You have to come up with a collaborative strategy that's going to identify cases that are meritorious, that need to go to trial, and cases we know should never go to trial, and do it that way. And that is a different process than everyone bluffing, including me, up to the day of trial about we're going to try this case. We all know we're not, and we ought to be real about which ones are meritorious and which ones aren't.